Hello everyone, welcome back for some more Fate Grand Order. I nearly missed today for playing, just because life gets in the way sometimes. It's not that life finds a way, it's that life gets in the way. Oh, what's the September exchange gonna be? Homunculus babies. Yes! Seeds! I need so many seeds! Good. And I'll take those. I'll take that. Master missions have been updated. What's this? This is gonna be apology. Oh! Compensation for adjustment to experience gained from event. Huh? Are these just experience ones? Okay. They're not very penis-y, at least. Many creatures are often chosen as familiars, but not many mages would choose insects, especially those insects that are not of this world. The insect is the informant of hell itself. As a parasite, the host will be given various abilities, but ultimately the insect's true nature is to devour, multiply, and destroy. There's nothing that awaits except the terrifying demise. Okay, these are more just experienced ones. Okay. Strange that I got them, but I'll take it. The final seashell for now. And we'll get to you in a bit. Don't worry, we'll get there. Hey, there's a trial quest with you. From what I understand, it's literally just a quick one. Let's do it. So we need Kill Lancer. We'll put you on and we'll give you a shot, see what you're like. Get that free summon ticket. If I can get something cool with that, that'd be good. We'll see how the Armad of the Saber is. Apparently, it's to make up for the fact that the Armad of the Lancer sucks. So, hey, let's see here. What do we got? Oh, that's cool. I like the design. So he has significant damage and remove defensive buffs and medium chance to inflict death. Wow. All right. You have Mana Burst, Evade, Quick. Wow, okay, that's a lot on your first one. Knights of Fiata's Honor, Sea Star Gather, and gain Sea Stars. Not bad. Really, not that bad. Let's start with that so that you can get a good number here. We're going to see if we can work towards seeing your Noble Phantasm, of course. Alright. Easy peasy. Next up, we got... Oh, a stone golem. That is a randomly a... Not a berserker. That's fine, I guess. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. So far, he has really good animations. I like it. Let's do these to hopefully get his meter big up. Nice. Alright. I want to see it. I want to see it. So what we're going to do is we'll just focus on getting him. We have about a 20% burst there, so we will get that with you. Alright. Not enough. Can you hit him? Okay, well... Oh, why don't I do the experience, the gain up? Well, that hand sucks. Let's refresh. There we go. We'll do these to give him a bit more. Just need to get to 80. Good. Alright, let's see what it's like. What is his Noble Phantasm even going to be? Give you that. Let's give you your attack up. Do that. Alright, so let's see here. Moral Tack. I don't know how to speak your language. I like his two big swords. They're real cool. Just a dang cool attack, man. I'll take it. That was fun. That was good. And I got one of those. I need those. Perfect. More importantly, give me that summon ticket. If I can summon a Diarmid from the summon ticket, I'm going to be very happy. We'll see, though. Okay. Thank you. Of course, I'll get some summon tickets too in the store right away. Not enhance, but I was just going to check for ascensions. So, I'm going to hold on to my meter here for the... No, I keep saying the word meter. My friend points, though, because people are saying to start to hold up. Yeah, I'm going to try and get you. So first off, though, let's at least use our free ones. And then I'll start saving up those friend points. Okay. Beast, huh? Interesting. Wild beast, specifically. Well, let's use this. And let's see. Cross our fingers. Oh. It's a servant. It's an archer. That's not going to be anything good. It's a Gilgi child. Okay, well, that was not so much worth it. Okay. Okay. Can I do some meter phantasm? No. Okay, so that's fine. Well, there's that. Well, let's go and do our Camelot. I'll get to you. Don't worry. I will. It's only 2 weeks, though. Makes me a bit worried. Anyway, it's the Atlas Institute. The Hidden Research. We got some casters, and we got a archer. So let's get a good strong... let's go... Oh. Hector, my dude. You're not looking too fresh. We could go with a powerful Diarmid. Nah, it's okay. Let's just be safe and go with, Artoria. And we need one that can kill Archer. I think we can handle this pretty well. Okay. Section 14, the Hidden Research. Well, let's see why frickin' Sherlock Holmes is down here. You must be Mr. Tanner, and she is Miss Kyrielite. She is the servant Xuanzang Sang Zang. He is the servant Tawara Tota. And that is, well, what a surprise. A Knight of the Round Table is also among you. Wonderful to meet you, Sir Bedivere. As we share a homeland, it's hard not to feel a certain familiarity with you already. Whoa, how did you know everyone's true name? Why, elementary, my dear friends. There it is, that famous line of his! That man is the real Mr. Holmes! You and I have already made contact. Before we met face to face, we met through information. Through information? In London, you managed to safely acquire the information I left at the Mages Association, right? It was just paperwork, but it must have been worth £1,000 to you at the time. I gathered only the necessary information and arranged it so it'd be easy to read. At that point, you must have accepted me as a collaborator in the shadows. Wasn't Anderson saying something? Yes, he said someone had organized the information before he looked it up. So that was your doing, Mr. Holmes. Yes. Had I made it too easy to understand, McCurry would have noticed. I arranged it so that it would only make sense when a wise person with a true purpose searched for it. You needed to know it in order to solve this murder case and not just be a passive bystander. Murder case? What? Yes, it's a murder case, and one on a scale I've never experienced before. The complete murder of primates by the incineration of humanity. Well, yeah, okay, fine, that is a murder case, I guess. Yes, indeed, a mythological murder case. Obviously, I'd appear. Tanner, Lady Mash, I hate to interrupt, but who is he? Holmes. I don't remember a knight by that name. Was Sherlock Holmes knighted? I'm not actually sure. How sad. It's true that I never attained knighthood, there you go. But Sir Arthur Conan Doyle did. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, yes. The person who recorded my efforts, however, did. Yeah, there we go. So the person who recorded your achievements was a knight? Milady? Yes, Sir Bedivere. Mr. Holmes is the most famous detective in the world. His class is probably Caster, right? He's one of the true forefathers of all detectives. Oh, if only the Monitor was alive, the Doctor would have been overjoyed. And I'm especially moved as well. Sherlock Holmes was real. In other words, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's novels were biographies by Dr. Watson. Watson's side job. If it makes an innocent girl so openly happy, then our work was well worth it. Miss Curiolite, my true identity, my essence is slightly different from what you may think. And sad, but that is not the purpose of our gathering here today. I cannot yet accept your case, Mr. Tanner. Oh, you can't? Mr. Holmes, you appeared in person without even a disguise, so I assumed... What a good fan. You're very aware of my personality. I very much would like to cooperate too, but there's a case I must solve first. Sir Babbage asked me to do so. He only had a little bit of reason left in him, just a speck, but it was like a glittering star. It is in exchange for that. Until that case is closed, I cannot make ties with Caldia. But that is not a vital problem. I'll leave the battle to you heroes. I am a detective. I have no interest in justice or honor. I just solve mysteries. That is my duty. It's exactly the Holmes I imagined. In other words, he just beat us to the punch? Yes, that's exactly it. Although I did activate the pitfall and invite you all. You'll help Tanner, but you won't join us, is that right? Yes, I came to this institute in search of knowledge. The old man of the mountain must have talked about needing to know everything, right? In that case, you should head for the central area of this institute. I, too, have business there. It is far from here, about half a mile underground. The path twists and folds over itself, much like a labyrinth. I'll show you the way there, and you'll eliminate the traps with your strength. It's quite the efficient collaboration. Now let's hurry. Infinite knowledge awaits us. Yep. This is the Holmes we know. Seem to have ended up teaming up with Mr. Holmes. Are you sure about this, Tanner? Our objectives are the same. Foo! I see. I suppose I've never really been really good with people like him. It reminds me of Merlin. You mean very, very wafty, very, you know, a character that fangirls will love? Master, a magical energy response, something's coming. It's the same as in London. It's an autonomous magical familiar. It seems the defense mechanisms are still active. I was right to wait for your arrival. My existence is currently in flux. There's no way I can fight. I'm counting on your success. Huh. His existence is in flux. I wonder why that is. Is it because of the incineration of humanity? Maybe. Sort of like a Back to the Future scenario. Because this world is approaching its end, you know, he's like, well, he's kind of here, kind of not. Books! Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow. I think I like this version of adult Artoria the best. No stupid... Well, you know what? Actually, I don't mind older Arturia's crown. I think my big problem is when Arturia has a giant novelty-looking crown. That's when I'm like, I don't like that too much. Okay. And... do those, get some stars, and some meter for you. Nice. So, now we are on to Battle 2. With some books. Let's do... you can get your meter back pretty quickly, so let's do this. Why not? You probably can't charm either books nor automata, so that's fine. Zip zap. Oh my god, you can charm a book. I don't even know how that would work. Alright, well, I've been told. That book's like, dang, girl. Your Parvatis are so round. I apologize. Try this. Good. Nice. Good. Alright, thankfully they're not doing too many status things. I hate those. Let's do this, kill that one. Alright. Oh, really? I hate that! Alright, let's go. Boop. Boop. Boop, we'll try that. That's just annoying, you know? Hopefully kill this one before it can pop off its special there. Yeah, we'll be able to with this, for sure. Alright. What? Okay, good. We got the extra hit. I was like, really? For realsies? And we got... Whoa! Whoa, it's 3D! It's actually easy to forget this game is, like, 3D. Like, it is. It's a 3D video game. The characters are, like, kind of paper doll style, but this game is running in Unity. And, you know, I watched some stuff on the development. Just like, it was actually just some GIFs on Twitter, pretty much. But they, like, zip around the 3D battlefield, and you're like, oh yeah, this is a 3D video game, you know? But like, that's really 3D. That's cool looking. It looks like a friggin' enemy from Paper Mario. There's an enemy that looks very similar to that. Alright, well, let's absolutely maniacally destroy you. Also, hey, guess what? My delayed audio actually fixes it. So that by applying a 300 millisecond delay to the game audio, I can actually make it so that the sound effects hit perfectly, and that's real cool. Oh, that's cool. It's like a lower angle there. It's like, you wouldn't know when you're fighting 2D enemies. I wonder if there's going to be more 3D enemies as it goes on. Wow, that's some damage. And he, like, breaks apart. That's cool. Looks a bit like a Stakataka from Pokemon, too. Alright. Ooh, definitely want some of those. Honestly, most of the items from, the, you know, Ascension items, I'm just like, yeah, I want those. What's the Atlas Institute, you ask? An excellent question, Mr. 10. So people have been telling me that Atlas Institute actually appears in a number of, like, the extended Nasuverse stuff. It's also in, I've been told, Melty Blood. Whew. We'll get there. We'll get there. I need to cover enough Fate before I start moving into, like, you know, Garden of Sinners and Tsukihime and Kagetsutoya. They're all on my desktop, though. It is an institute of alchemists built in the Atlas Mountains of Egypt. It's also known as the Titan's Pit. It's one of the 3 branches of the Mage Association dealing with accumulation and measurement. Their alchemy is not at all like alchemy you may know of it, the kind that became mainstream in the Middle Ages. They're the progenitors of magecraft, focused on investigating the principles of the world. While they are certainly mages, I understand that their magical circuits are rather paltry. Consequently, they do not rely on magical energy to learn the mysteries of the world, instead using a great number of tools. In a way, these tools evolve similarly to scientific progress. They treated pseudo-spiritrons, souls, as energy that could be observed and manipulated. This led to homunculi, life forms that possess magical circuits. We have no need to become the strongest, we simply have to create the strongest tool. That was their motto. True to their words, they created many weapons. In the world of magecraft, they are called the 7 Taboos. The Atlas Institute created 7 weapons capable of destroying the world. Realizing that they had reached their limits, they sealed them away. There are still many theories about why they decided to build such weapons in the first place. The director of the Atlas Institute was given the title Atlasia. Atlasia. I saw a wall plate on the way here. It said Zepia Eltnem Altsia. Atlasia, rather. I don't know.
He was likely the last director. There seems to have been a successor designated, but the name wasn't recorded. The directors of this institute would always go mad, and as a result, they created forbidden weapons that would destroy the world. It's also possible that they would try to prevent the destruction of the world, fail in the progress, then go mad as a result. Regardless, this place is a storehouse of mystic codes unparalleled anywhere else on Earth. Although in reality, it's more like a disposal site. The alchemists of this institute would constantly invent things. They were treated as failed creations, and a mountain of terrible weapons accumulated. Can we grab one of the least terrible ones, maybe? We're headed to the center of that. What do you think? You understand my summary of the Atlas Institute?
Why is it called the Titan's Pit?
You know the Titan who held up the world in Greek myth?
Oh, yeah, Atlas. Yeah, of course.
The name may have been influenced by his story. I've also heard that it was called the Atlas Institute because it's in the Atlas Mountains, a simple reason for naming it so.
The origin of alchemy at the Atlas Institute is tied with the progenitor of magecraft in Egyptian mythology, the goddess Isis, whose name nowadays makes me uncomfortable to say on YouTube.
That connection may be why the Institute appeared in the territory of Egypt in the Singularity.
Fled underground to study magecraft. No wonder I'd never heard of this group of mages. However, I don't see any students. Did the Atlas Institute fall to ruin prior to this time?
No, as far as I've been able to deduce, the Atlas Institute was active from the BC up to the 2018 AD. If there hadn't been any people here, then... No, I shouldn't speak based on assumptions. We'll know for certain when we reach the center. Underground academy filled with mysteries, and research facility created with unknown techniques. Is its true identity an ideal shelter? Merely an enormous tomb? Let us hold up hope in our hearts and press forward to see the truth.
It's fun reading what you say. You speak fun. Alright, what do we got next? Blood Archer. Okay. Let's go with... Wow, you are maxed out, huh? Increase max HP. Increase for all allies. Sure. You're, like, powerful. Take that. Arvati putting in the work. Oh, bat sounds. Still, the layout of this place is rather complicated. It's more of a maze than an academic institute. The path splits in two as we descend, but if you look behind you, it's actually three. It's built like an optical illusion. It's as though... Indeed, it's built to confuse those trying to leave. Entering is simple, but exiting is forbidden. Oh, so it's just like the Hotel California. Such a lovely place. Such a lovely face. It's not like it's to protect against theft. That'd be the opposite, right? So why did it build in this way? That makes it sound like it built itself, Mash.
Because they were more fearful of people leaving than entering. The Atlas Institute was a group of geniuses. They immersed themselves in various research in their own independent workshops. There were no taboos here. One would not be rebuked for creating any weapon, no matter how inhumane.
Oh, you know it's bad? When we find the place that even mages go, that's inhumane.
However, there was one condition. What was created here could never be brought outside. That was the great principle of the Atlas Institute. For over 2,000 years, they stubbornly kept to this rule. An exception would be the 7 contracts created when the Institute was established. The Atlas Institute promised to cooperate with only those holding these special contracts. I'm sure this agreement caused headaches for generations of directors. Their contracts arbitrarily made by their ancestors, after all. They had recovered 4 of the contracts by 2000 AD, but the whereabouts of the other 3 remain unknown.
Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry to stop so abruptly, but they're more defense mechanisms. I expect you can handle them.
I guess. Sure. Alright. Well, let's put an end to these defense mechanisms. Thankfully, they seem to be of the ability to be destroyed by us fairly easily. Alright. All 3 of them. Oh, but they're way weaker, so that's good. That's my... Whoa, twin tails? Are you serious? That's new. Wow, you were given everything, huh? Alright. Yeah, that's new. Wow, you went ham. Alright. Kinda. That's cool. I like that. I like that attack. It's a real Kino. Let's do this. This. And this. Okay. Good. Nice. Getting lots of stars. You know what, let's go. Let's try this to get as much as you can. Will that kill? It did, never mind. Okay, that's fine. I was hoping to just barely survive and then do a full thing with her, but that's okay. We're not too worried. Do these. Alright. Done. Good. Speed Jammer. Did nothing. Let's do these. Boy. Who's ever Ibaraki I grabbed. Sorry I didn't look at your name. You really like Ibaraki, huh? Given all the command codes. That's fine. That's understandable. Do you have meter gain? Well, we can do this. Eating cotton candy. Do you have one? Increase your max HP. Not bad. Sea Star Gather, critical strength up. Don't have too many of them. That's alright. We'll get some in the next turn for sure. Wait, well you can give meter, right? Right? You can give it to her. Not enough, unless we do this and we get it. Let's see. Nope. Well, dang. There goes that plan. Alright, well, that's fine. We'll do Elizabeth, and then you two to get yours. If Elizabeth doesn't just straight up win anyways. It's possible. Probably not, but it's possible. I didn't see the word overkill, so, well, never mind. Alright. There we go. We got that. We got that. We got that. Hey, we're continuing to work through these master missions, getting those Saint Quartz. I should check them, actually. After this. Mr. Tanner, having watched 2 of your battles, may I comment on your leadership? No. How unfortunate. You seem to know less about me than Miss Curie-Light. Sherlock Holmes cannot be silenced, has no self-restraint, and doesn't care about bothering others. I always voice my own deductions. Anyway, Mr. Tanner, to be honest, I'm quite surprised. Your fighting abilities are unbelievable, but they're still only secondary to something else. The root of your strength lies in the style of your contracts. You really seem to love the, as you say, Unga Boonga Buster combos. I'm sure there's no precedent in history of a master with connections to so many servants. An even more shocking aspect is the length of time that this has continued. Normally, servants are only summonable temporarily and only for a particular battle. Perpetual contracts like your own are unthinkable. Yet it doesn't seem like you have any particular secrets, Mr. Tanner. Don't look at my search history. In other words... Gulp. By the way, Miss Curie-Light, it appears you still don't have full control of your noble phantasm. Why is that? Is it something beyond your means? Mash doesn't know its true name. Yes, I still don't know what the true name of the heroic spirit who transferred this power to me. That's not it. The true name isn't a big issue, simply erred on which foot to set forth on. But be at ease. You will have the solution soon. Given the information, there's nothing I can't uncover. No, that was rude of me. That sounded like bragging. There are some things that even I don't know. Right now, we're fighting with another mystery. The true identity of the King of Mages, the culprit behind the incineration of humanity. I mean, is it not King Solomon? I have almost no information about him.
Every corner of time has its tracks, but none of these seem to tie to King Solomon. If someone had seen the King of Mages firsthand, I could have asked if there was any resemblance to Solomon. But of course, there wouldn't be such a convenient witness. I have no choice but to continue inferring from information.
I've seen the King of Mages.
You were such a vital witness? Then please, tell me everything. What did he look like? His voice, his magical lineage, and most importantly, what were your impressions having directly met him? Any discomfort, anything out of place? A sense of discomfort would be the most important key. Try to remember, no matter how trivial it may seem. Was there anything strange about the King of Mages?
Yeah, he had lots of tentacles. I remember what he looks like, but...
So do I, but I'm not able to share those memories with you. Recordings are all covered in static, too.
One thing about his appearance...
Something missing. Missing, you say? For a human who had never seen the King of Mages before to say such a thing. He must have made an oversight, trivial though it may be. An oversight that, though unintentional, was enough to arouse suspicion. Miss Light, I'm sorry, but could you draw a sketch as we walk? I'd like a picture of the King of Mages you saw. Normally you'd be cursed for even making an attempt, but here in Atlas they likely have perfect measures against outside curses. No harm would come to you. I understand. I'm no artist, but I'll try to draw what we saw. I hope you're terrible and it's cute. May I also say something, Mr. Holmes? I didn't sense any sort of discomfort like my master did, but what the King of Mages said, how he acted, it wasn't consistent. That was what seemed out of place to me. He was sometimes violent, sometimes calm, even totally indifferent toward us at times. The changes all seemed abrupt to me. Tell me in more detail. What kind of conversation did you have with him?
This was our conversation.
I see. Thank you, Miss Light. That was very useful information. Enough to inch a little closer to the true identity of the King of Mages. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help. Guessing from your conversation, the King of Mages is akin to a mirror.
A mirror?
Correct. A mirror reflects those standing before it. A mirror that shows the nature of the person speaking to it. If someone vulgar speaks, he answers just as rudely. While if someone wise speaks, he answers with equal earnestness. He responds to the cruel with cruelty, to the calm with benevolence. It's not that he lacks his own sense of self, or that he has multiple personality disorder. He's just not confined to a single alignment. No, it's the exact opposite, in fact. That's his nature. I see. Mordred was... Oh, yeah. But he said he isn't interested in us. He said life has no value. I don't think anybody who was present thought that way. That's exactly it. That's the part I find frightening, Miss Light. No interest in humans. That is the truth for the King of Mages. As proof, he has already destroyed humanity. He's unlike the Lion King who seeks to destroy this era. He has already won, which is precisely why he has shown his true form. Of course he would have no interest in us, it's because he has already moved on to his next project. For example, suppose there's a desk here with a project labeled Incineration of Humanity sitting on top of it. He finished that project long ago. Now he's at a different desk, ready to start anew. Normally that would be the end. Humanity wouldn't even have the option of fighting against him. However, a miracle occurred. It goes without saying, that miracle was Caldia. Although it's simply a minuscule space remaining at the now uninhabited desk. So the King of Mages incinerating humanity is already a finished project. You're saying that's why he has no interest in us? Yes, to be precise, it's because he's occupied with his next task. Okay, so the way I imagine this, imagine a desk, and on that desk is a shoebox, and that shoebox is labeled Incineration of Humanity. He's moved on to another desk. We are an ant, crawling on that desk, attempting to push that shoebox off the desk. Of course he wouldn't care. He thinks, what can an ant do? So for us, we're gonna keep pushing and keep trying, and maybe by the end he'll go, yo, wait, hold up, these ants are doing something, right? But for right now, he's like, I don't care. What frightens me is the true nature of that next task. Listen well. You can say that this case is the perfect crime. Nobody could prevent the plot from occurring. We were completely defeated, unable to even make a move. A detective works after an incident occurs, after there are already victims. Even if I deduce the truth behind the incident, I don't have the power to undo what has taken place. But you do, Mr. Tanner. You have that power. The King of Mages doesn't believe so, which is your one and only chance to overcome that demon's crime. I think my metaphor was right on the money. So we're ants fighting against, a full-size human. Great. Let's see here. Okay, excuse me. We got this one. So, friend point summons, defeat. Oh, these are easy. These are easy. We'll be able to do these for sure. Hey, guess what? Lancer go. So let's go. Well, Gudako, you want friend points? I'll give you friend points. You get some friend points. Rejoice, everyone. We're nearly at this. I don't like that word when it comes to fate. Please don't use that word. Many answers await us ahead. The old man of the mountains sent you here for 2 reasons. The first relates to the Singularity, to gain knowledge about the Lion King's objective in his sacred lands. The second relates to all 7 singularities. In other words, a part of the mystery behind the incineration of humanity. I'm prepared to answer both of those. However, before that... Battle, of course there be one. No, I have a warning. Well, more like a declaration. The greatest reason why I appeared before you is that the peering eyes of Chaldea cannot reach... Oh? Oh. Let me tell you in advance. I do not trust Dr. Oh! Okay. Oh boy. Well. So here's where I let it be known. I noticed a distinct lack of Dr. Roman in several too many events that later take place in... There's only one bat. Oh, but there's 8 of them. I definitely noticed that there's no Dr. Roman in there. And instead, Da Vinci takes on the role of being the announcer person. Now, I thought of one of 2 things it could be. I'm just letting it be known right now. I either thought Roman's going to die, or Roman is bad. And I don't know which. I definitely started to not trust him after a while. Which sucks, because he was a bro at the beginning, but I can definitely see where this is coming from. So we'll have to see. Now, of course, this could be a red herring. Maybe he just takes a back seat or something, I don't know, but it was definitely something that I considered, Which makes me buying a Dr. Roman figure for my fate sort of a shrine. Bit awkward now, isn't it? A little bit awkward. Let's just use these to fry them all, hopefully. And get some sea stars. That's me being completely honest. There is some fate stuff where I'm like, maybe I'll run across something that I'm like, oh, is that a spoiler? I'm just gonna keep that to myself. Maybe I'll forget it. I'm very forgetful. So if I forget something, hey, that's pretty good. But for the most part, I think that's the only big thing that I was like keeping inside my mind. Mostly because, I'm gonna be honest, some of you guys are really bad at being coy in the comments. There's people who they're like, I'm not gonna spoil this, but, and it's like, then don't say it. If it's saying this, like I'm just going to say is the spoiler equivalent of I'm not racist, but, there's been a couple times where that happens. I try to throw that out of my mind as much as I can, but if I think about throwing it out of my mind, it doesn't. So I need to just not think about it. But now I'm curious. Let's talk about this. Oh? Oh, hey, yeah.
This is we've seen this on the craft essence. This is the heart of the Atlas Institute. We're underground, but there's a Sky Master. Okay, that's okay. I took the scale of this to be wrong. When I saw this, I thought it was like a small hole and we're like standing like, you know, yay tall. But no, if we're looking up and we can see the sky like that, this is really tall. This place is the size of a city. Okay, yeah, I read it wrong. Can't believe they're able to build such a vast structure here. This sure looks like an academic institute, all right. They have everything necessary for humans to live their lives. This would help their students keep sound minds, even if the sky was artificial.
The obelisk in the center is the Atlas Institute's greatest recording medium, a pseudo-spiritron calculation engine dubbed Tri-Hermes. Trismegistus in Chaldea was based off of it.
That's the original?
Indeed, the one sent to Chaldea is merely a copy. It is a photonic crystal, a philosopher's stone, an out-of-place artifact, or oopart if you want to be spicy, that cannot be created through science in the present world. Now then, we've already acquired the access rights. Normally we would just ask the staff, but as you can see, this place is completely uninhabited. I feel a little sorry, but we'll just have to use it without their permission.
Yes, but I wonder why the staff aren't present. It may be buried in the sand, but all the equipment seems to be operating like normal.
The answer is obvious. This is Atlas in 2018. In other words, from your time period.
What? Atlas from our time? Now that you mention it, Da Vinci said something like that. Something about how in Egyptian territory, there's a foreign object from yet another era. Oh, there we go. It must have been this.
I believe so. The mages may have been incinerated, but the Atlas Institute itself didn't vanish. Now let's get to the main issue. Tri-Hermes contains recordings of all events. Since we aren't alchemists of Atlas, we wouldn't understand everything it contains, but the simple truth, we should be able to understand the results. Although it'd be like looking at a mathematical equation solution.
Peeping isn't a good hobby, you know. Well, what are you checking?
I'm embarrassed to admit it, but it's a record that even I couldn't trace, the recording of a certain event kept secret from all. Now try Hermes, soaring bird of the underworld, answer my question. Tell us of a certain incident, erased from all erased from all records and descriptions. The Holy Grail War that occurred in Japan in 2004.
Like the one in Yuki? Holy Grail War? Don't tell me you mean Singularity X. Well, the director did talk of a Holy Grail War held in Singularity X, but are you saying that's the truth behind the incineration of humanity? The true origin? I thought it was Singularity F.
No, it's not the origin, but it is an important factor. The Holy Grail War. That is a grand witch ritual where heroic spirits are summoned to fight, in which the last surviving mage and servant standing obtain the Holy Grail. You already know that much, right, Mr. Tanner? Very well, that ritual did indeed take place. 2004, located in a certain city of Japan. I checked the records of this war. However, I couldn't figure out what happened during its course or how it concluded. The only traceable data was from when the Holy Grail War started, the identities of the 7 mages who sought the Holy Grail. Among those 7 who participated, one of them was related to someone you know. Or to be precise, the daughter of that person.
Previous director Chaldea.
That's right. The father of Olga Marie Animosphere, the late director of Chaldea. As Lord of the Clock Tower, he secretly headed to that regional city of Japan and participated in that bloody ritual. His name was...
Okay, that hurts.
An answer already. It's a little sad that it doesn't make sounds while in operation. However, I'm glad to see it backs up my hypothesis. This resolves one of the questions. The winner of the 2004 Holy Grail in Japan was Marisbury Animosphere. Hermes recorded that he killed 6 other mages and obtained the omnipotent wish granter known as the Holy Grail.
Okay, this is an alternate history then. It's not the same timeline as Stay Night, I'm guessing. Or that is the Singularity, perhaps. He obtained the Holy Grail? And that's before the incineration of humanity, before the race shift was carried out.
Correct. Records indicate Marisbury brought his assistant along to the Holy Grail War. And that, having been given special exemption the following year, the assistant was then invited to join the staff of Chaldea. He became the top of the medical division in his early 20s, so special is the word for it, I'd hesitate to call him a normal person.
Oh boy, the top of the medical division, huh? Do you mean Romani Archimin? Dr. Roman. He knew the former director before coming to Chaldea?
Yes, and it gets stranger. The personal history of the man named Romani Archimin is unknown. I couldn't find anything about him in the records from before the Holy Grail War. I might figure it out if I kept using Hermes, but we don't have the time to salvage data about a single person out of the billions of personnel data files updated yearly. But that's the reason why I don't trust Dr. Roman. There's no mistake he's human and not a mage, but he's hiding something. Something extraordinarily close to the truth.
Can I ask something? I know I shouldn't just butt in because I'm tired of being quiet, but this Marisbury guy obtained the Holy Grail, right? What did he wish for?
Who knows? Unfortunately, Hermes doesn't record personal wishes. The only things recorded are results. According to Hermes, Marisbury went on to become a great mage. To the Clock Tower, Chaldea, and the Animosphere's family's theories were mostly disregarded. However, that assessment was overturned after repeated successes. The establishment of the heroic spirit summoning system. Experiments that made it possible to not just observe the future, but also use race shifts to intervene in other time periods. Chaldea was nothing more than an observatory in 2004, but then gained vast amounts of equipment like any other research facility. It's safe to assume that Marisbury wished for fortune. He had no reason to wish for the incineration of humanity. Regarding the documents, he comes off as a man of good sense. His desire was ordinary, his envy was ordinary, and his love of happiness was ordinary. That's the type of man he was. In that case, he was either used by a third party or stepped into a minefield of destruction without even noticing it himself. Third party? Like Professor Lev? Lev Liner was appointed to Chaldea at the turn of the century. That coincides with the time when the technology to construct the observation lens Sheba was provided to Chaldea. Lev Liner was working under the King of Mages, I have no doubt about that. To be honest, this causes me the biggest headache. Chaldea caught the eye of Lev, and he infiltrated it. In that case, there must have been some issue at Chaldea before the Holy Grail War of 2004. That war was just a way for Marisbury to obtain capital. There's a possibility it wasn't related to the incineration of humanity. With that in mind, I don't want to say this, but it would mean this about Romani Archimin. We don't know what he was doing, but he had no connection to the incidents. A simple nuisance, a mystery. Someone who really doesn't matter at all. That's the conclusion that I can draw.
What's that supposed to mean? That's ridiculous. Sounds like Roman.
Yes, that's the doctor in a nutshell. Personally, I still see him as an important person of interest. You shouldn't tell him anything that you heard here. Can't trust him until his secrets are clear. At the very least, Romani Archimin knows the conclusion of the Holy Grail War never told you.
Oh boy. Oh boy, there's some big plot here, huh?
Now that wraps up the facts I wanted to know. Next is your turn, but before that, as I searched through the records of Chaldea, I found an answer for you, Miss Curie-Light. I'm sorry if this seems like it's just being tacked on, but do you mind if we speak about it? An answer for me? Oh, do you mean what we talked about on the way here? About the true name of the heroic spirit who transferred their power to me? Exactly. I came to a conclusion already, but I had no clear proof, so I spoke ambiguously. But now I can tell it to you as fact. Are you prepared to hear this, Miss Curie-Light? Wait a minute. That's something for Lady Mash to discover for herself. We shouldn't be the ones... No, I must speak my mind. I'm sure everyone has already realized it anyway. Only fools would continue to avert their eyes from the truth. Are you saying that Miss Curie-Light is a fool? I say no. No, Sir Bedivere. And besides, what are you so fearful of? That knowing her true name wouldn't change anything? That it wouldn't help her develop her noble phantasm?
I declare that as an unnecessary concern because Mash Curielite's spirit is already complete. Her fears don't depend on whether or not she possesses a noble phantasm. Also, even if her noble phantasm fails to develop, she'll never stop standing up for her beliefs. For the sake of what she believes in, she'll muster her courage to fight to the very end. Apologies, I unashamedly flew into a rage. Anyway, do you mind if I speak openly? You weren't before? This fate was bestowed upon you. The name of the heroic spirit who saved your life. Master, is this really okay? Of course. Okay, although I wish it was something a little more special. Please tell me, Mr. Holmes, my true name, the real name of this shield. Very well, then I shall tell you everything, like a true detective would. First off, how did Caldia stabilize their heroic spirit summons? By being in possession of something that gathers heroic spirits. A seat where many heroes once gather. Rite of vows called the Round Table. Oh. Caldia processed that relic, used it as a catalyst for summons, and buried it in the body of a fused being. I'm sorry, does she have the Round Table in her? I'm sure you can understand this, Mr. Tanner. That while the weapon she carries looks like a shield, that's not... Oh no, it's better! She fights with the Round Table? That the first servant you contracted with is actually the groundwork for gathering many spirits. I mean, part is literally a round shield. Yes, perhaps something of a pun. Something to applaud the Caldia engineers for. The core of her holy round shield is the Round Table itself. What? That's so cool! Now listen well, Miss Curielite. The second heroic spirit summoned when you were young. The only successful result of Caldia's heroic spirit fusion experiment. The hero who lamented the inhumane experiments of Caldia, but stayed in the present world to preserve your life. The one who entrusted everything during the Caldia bombing incident. That heroic spirit's name was Galahad. Alright. Alright, there we go. Now we know. One of the Knights of the Round Table. A holy knight who alone succeeded in the search for the Holy Grail. Oh, he did. Galahad of the Knights of the Round Table. Yo, Mash, you okay? Yes. I suddenly felt weak at the knees. I just had to sit down. But it wasn't painful or even surprising. I was just happy. I finally know the name of the person who believed in us and helped us back then. I feel so happy right now. Yeah, because I saw the outline of the heroic spirit in the First Order OVA, and I'm like, I don't know who that is. I wonder if I fought well enough to not soil his name. See, it's just as I said. She's just that kind of girl. She never forgets gratitude. Why would she hold any pessimism in her heart towards the one who saved her life? This is exactly as you say. It seems Galahad made the correct decision. They were eons apart. They were a different race. But he truly did entrust this to the person closest to him. What race is Mash? Kyrie Light does not sound Japanese. Sounds Latin, if anything. We hugging her? Oh. Just a zoom in of her smiling. That's gotta be a revelation, right? Gotta be a bond up or something? Yeah! Servant profile leveled up. New voice added to my room. Nice. Well, because we're here, let's definitely check that out. Let's go to her. Well, profile. Let's see here. So it's roughly the same thus far. So Mash has acquired the true name of the heroic spirit who possessed her. The name of that knight is Galahad, one of the Knights of the Round Table in Arthurian legend. A saint who was the one person to acquire the Holy Grail and return it to heaven. Caldia used a special method to summon him as a heroic spirit. The core that made this possible was the catalyst used to summon him. The place where heroes gather. The shield that Mash holds that uses the Round Table. I cannot believe she fights with a table. That's so rad. That's so cool. That makes so much sense, too. Alright, well. Looks like we have some bowmen and some riders. So, hey, guess what? Time for big dumb attack. Let's go with this. Yep, that works. Well, interesting. Huh. Now we know. There's big revelations this part.
Now, Mr. Tanner, I'll leave the actual awakening of the noble phantasm to you. But I fear Hermes is not doing very well. One more search and it'll run out of power. I should reflect on my actions as well. It would seem my plan to search for enchanting, unsolved mysteries has somehow backfired. Mr. Holmes? Foo! Please, fear not. It will work, but only one more time. I never miss the truth. The Lion King's sacred land, Sarongo Minyad. You must know why it exists. Needless to say, I have heard this name as well, but I have never set my eyes upon it. Hermes, show us the truth that lies behind it. I see. Senpai, looks like the search is complete. Hermes seems rather useful. Foo-foo! The lance that the Lion King possesses. How much do you know of it, Sir Bedivere? Very little. The king had a number of holy artifacts set aside from the Holy Sword. I imagine Rongo Minyad is one of them. Even the Knights of the Round Table were not informed of it. Merlin called it the Tower at the Ends of the World. A pillar of light that stands far west of the Isle of Britain. A tower that stands beyond the horizon at the edge of the world. Tower? But it's a lance, right? I mean, I understand they're both long and pointy, but why are you blushing when you say that? The answer is beyond me, I fear. Mr. Holmes? There are two lances, Miss Sanzang. The first is the massive tower that pierces this world, the lance in its physical form. It is an indication of the lance's strength. It would seem that it indeed exists as a tower, but it cannot be accessed by humans. Most importantly, it exists at the edge of this world. One can never reach the edge, no matter how much they walk. The tower stands at the edge of this world, seeing all of mankind and protecting it. So you're suggesting it's a powerful magical tower with a great view? And the other is the lance that the Lion King wields. Think of this as the shadow that the tower casts upon the world. A personal weapon that allows the user to use the skills, the authority of the tower. So the tower is the main frame while the lance is the terminal? A great analogy, Miss Curie, I liked. The tower will continue to exist at the edge of the world while the lance is held by the tower's keeper. The only mystery that remains is why is the tower pinned on this planet? There is a theory that our world, the human world, is nothing more than a texture placed upon the surface of this planet. Alright, Reuben Langdon. Just sipped a lot of Kool-Aid, huh? Our understanding as this planet's ruling intelligent life form, laws of physics as we know it. The texture that results from this understanding is our world, and it's sewn tightly to this planet so as not to be removed. What keeps it in place, my friends, is the phenomenon known as the tower at the ends of this world. This tower is not limited to the Isle of Britain either. There are several around the world, one of which is the sacred lance currently in the Lion King's hands. Tower at the ends of the world. Now I understand what it means. The king is trying to use such a dangerous thing to... It's like a pagoda! A vessel for receiving faith, I get it! But how is that related to the state of the holy city? What does Lion King intend to do with it? Most likely, the Lion King intends to use the lance as the tower. The Lion King intends to create an ideal world at the holy city by gathering only the chosen ones. Not simply a pure human being, but one that will always do the right thing no matter what. According to Hermes' calculations, the sacred lance can store up to 500 souls. The holy city was built over the Holy Land in a single night. It seemed impossible, but not until you understand why. That city is the sacred lance itself. People that were brought to the city have all been sealed inside. Oh, Jerusalem is the land. Okay, well, it all ties together. Wow. The Lion King claims he is quarantining pure human beings, but the truth is that he is not letting them get away. It's an elaborate trap. Possible. That city is Camelot. The details may be slightly different, but I've no doubt it's Camelot. How could that be turned into such an evil... No, Mr. Holmes' deduction is correct. That is not Camelot. True, the castle of Camelot was created by fairies. It's no wonder it appeared overnight. But that's not right. I had a really bad feeling from the moment I saw it. That's the outer shell of Rongominiad. It is not something that will save humanity. Then what happened to all the people inside the Holy City? They must live lives of captivity while being protected by the king. To live or to die, that is not the issue. All those in the Holy City will be consumed by the lance. The Sacred Lance is similar to the Atlas Institute. It's a shelter, Sir Bedivere. However, there's no room to exist as a life form. All of them are being herded as virtuous human elements. Eventually, the Holy City will converge and become a single tower. Inside of that tower is a smaller version of hell. The people have not been gathered in this so-called utopia to live. They are samples, to be stored for all eternity underneath the Lion King's command, as though displayed in a case to show the value of mankind. Oh no! It's gonna turn into an IKEA shelf for anime figures. But this... whoever's behind such a malicious deed can't be human. Lion King's conduct, whether good or evil, means nothing to me. Simply protecting his own people, that much is true. There's a huge mistake! What are you talking about, Toda? Let me finish. Now, so listen. The Holy City has been turned into this tower. What will happen next? I believe the tower will disappear along with the Lion King's army. At the very least, the mountain people and the Lion King will have no reason to fight, because he'll fade along with his ideals. You're right. I suppose that would technically put an end to the conflict. Technically. To protect one's own people. It seemed that even the Lion King wants to do that. What a relief to hear. I am of the same opinion as Mr. Tota. Until we see Hermes' analysis. So you're suggesting something else? There's a deeper meaning to the Lion King's actions? Correct. The Lion King intends to turn the Holy City into the tower at the ends of the world. Surely you know what that means. When the tower is complete, the entire area will become the ends of the world. In exchange for creating the complete world known as the tower, the world outside it must be destroyed. The Lion King is not simply trying to protect his own people. He's going to eliminate all other people aside from his own. And that destruction has already begun. The reason the Singularity has been an exception within an exception is because it exists nowhere in this world. I see. The reason there's nothing is on the other side of the desert, because this era has already been separated from human history. Yes, Miss Sanzang. The King of Mages is no longer the one who's trying to destroy this era, nor the one that created it. The Lion King is willing to sacrifice one of the foundations of humanity to create his own utopia. Only gods may do that. She doesn't like the G word. Let us return to the surface, everyone. We're racing against time. We need to invade the Holy City before the Sacred Lance is complete. There, we need to confirm the Lion King's intent. I agree with Bedivere. Makes sense why the mighty skeleton guy told us to come here. We should rendezvous with them as soon as we can. They need to know this. Why didn't the mighty skeleton guy just tell us the truth? Wouldn't that be faster? This Tanner needed to come here. Perhaps to the desert itself, if not this institute. No amount of strength will alter the importance of the people you meet. This old man of the mountain still has a few tricks up his sleeve. Tanner has a mission to accomplish here. Could that be his true intention? Why did you laugh at me, detective? Pardon me, was I laughing? If that is the case, then what you're saying is quite amusing. Enough to melt this cold hard expression of mine. Oh. Wait, we have to deal with this on the way back, too? But of course, and this time the opponent is stronger than any of the others we faced. The Atlas Institute does not want people to leave. I thought I've explained this to you. This is the final battle in this underground lost world. Let's make it count. Oh, wow. This part, so yeah, wow, okay, this is definitely the part where the story kicks off. Which makes me wonder why we go to Babylonia. There must be a reason why. Oh, okay, now it's red. Mark II. You too, bud. Let's do attack up with you. And Buster up, sure. Alright. This should almost certainly kill him. Let's see. Big Unga Bunga, let's go. Oh yeah, look at that.
That's the Unga Bunga I know and love. Even these blocks, when they get smashed in the crotch, get hurt. Alright, more. Sounds good. Let's go... You know what? Let's go like that. I'll definitely kill the one in the front, because that 60% attack up will do good damage. Well, let's see. Never mind. Oh, well. Oh, so close. Magic Jammer. That sucks. Ow. Good. Let's go. Like this. Yeah. Get stars. Wow, that didn't kill, huh? Alright, well that kind of sucked. Wow, no crit there. Can you stop with that? Really? Really? That is just annoying. We'll see if this will kill without buff. I bet you it will, because we came real close last time too. Well. Nope. Close. Thank you. Alright, let's pop that on you. You know what? Let's do that. Good. So we'll kill the guy in the front. And use that. Alright. Good. Really? Is there a reason why you're doing that all to her over and over? Is it because you know she's a threat? Here, let's do this. Oh yeah, we got this. Oh yeah. Stab right in the non-existent part of the body. Alright, and what is the last thing we need to deal with? It's... Oh, of course, a dragon underground. How did this fit here? You know what? It's in, frickin' Bloodstained, so sure. This... Let's do... Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll go... Do this. Put that... Just stuff that dragon right into there. Make it fit. Just seeing the big number go big. Except it's pretty strong looking at its HP amount. We'll need first Hassan to do his first Hassan stuff. That's one dodge. Jalter got hit there once, that's fine. Let's do... Let's decrease that. Let's go... You have an HP gain, right? Greatly restore HP, yep. Good. I'm not going to do death resist down on you, because there's no real point, but let's go... Like this to get enough meter, then to get your Noble Phantasm, and then we'll do the death up. So if we hit it, that'd be cool. We just need 80, there we go. And if we get hit, we might even get it. One more. Yep, you got it. No need to even get otherwise. You know what then? Let's go. Give that to you. Just so that we can then get buffed up. Because it's death chance up, right? Yes. Okay. So let's go. And then, yeah. Alright, let's see. That's certainly a bit of damage. I wonder if the death chance changes if they have lower HP. Didn't say death. But it killed him. Oh yeah! Yeah, people told me that if you kill with his Noble Phantasm, it just erases them, and it was a glitch, but people loved it, so they kept it. And hey, nice! I don't have more friend slots, though. Ripperoni and pepperoni. I think the max level is like 160 now. So I still got a ways to go. But hey, more AP to use. Senpai, I see light at the end of the corridor. That must be sunlight. Return trip was much quicker. I suppose we owe this to you, Mr. Holmes. Elementary, my dear friends. You must not rely only on your virtual senses when inside a maze. Visual, rather. You must construct a third-dimensional map inside your mind as you proceed. As the master detective. I'm glad to be of service to you in the end. And on that note, I must bid you farewell. So Chaldea cannot be trusted after all? True, there is much mystery surrounding Chaldea, but there are others I must chase right now. Namely, the phantom spirit who... No, I must not discuss this here. If you'll excuse me, Mr. Tanner. Phantom spirit? How about a little riddle as a parting gift? The simplest of puzzles about the incineration of humanity. I've been thinking, why 2018? Why now of all times? Is it to, just get ahead of the curve and stop it before 2020 happens? Huh? None of you questioned it? The King of Mages erased human history itself. So going by the Western calendar, that means that the world should have ended before you were even born. However, he went with purging everything in 2018. He altered the history leading up to now. Think, incineration in 2018 and burning backwards into history. Why is that? There was only one logical conclusion. The King of Mages had a reason why he needed to wait until 2018. Let's suppose he exists in 1000 BC. Between 1000 BC and 2018 AD, there are approximately 3000 years. He needed to burn all of it. Do you follow? The King of Mages did not destroy it because he wanted to. He burned it because he needed to. The result may be the same, but we cannot overlook this tiny detail. I don't know what he's getting at, but now that you mention it. Exactly. How can one bear murderous intent if they do not care at all? However, this is where the inquiry becomes a little tricky. Needless to say, the reason is a complete mystery. One theory is that I've mentioned earlier, that the time frame from the past up until 2018 has meaning. The other is that King Solomon could not see past the year 2018. King Solomon had the ability to see into the future. And if for some reason, then he could not see past 2018, then no future existed in the first place? The same conclusion at which I've arrived. I can only pray that this is not the case. Now then, I must part ways here. The next we meet, yes, I hope it'll be in a bustling metropolitan city like London, not in these wastelands. Alright, see ya, bud. Oakley dokily. That was some big plot. That was big plot. Well, I hate to click and run, but I do have to go and do stuff today, so alas, this will be the end of this part, but color me intrigued at where this is going. I was really curious. I thought, like, man, the first half of this story, like, felt really loaded, because I'm sure that it'll end with Arash is sacrificed the first movie. But now I'm looking like, oh boy, there's a lot for them to cover. So, I will see you guys next time for some more as we, well, I guess go talk to King Ozymandias and be like, yo, can you help us? Because we're kind of trying to raid. We don't want the world to be destroyed, so I'll see you guys next time for that then. Ciao.